kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. That is caught at the 7-yard line.
Is no good on the fake extra point.
And he will not make it to the goal line as this try for two is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep and not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11.
42-yard line.
It's caught on the right side of Smith.
Benkert's pass.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Back now in Baltimore. The Falcons on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Intercepted.
On 1st down, Richard. They find some open field here. 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Jalen Richard, 45 yards. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown.
But I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Marshall now, the return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The Falcons on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10.
Yards.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Lamar Jackson sacked.
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 42. Gets through and now an opening. There he goes right side. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Justice Hill, 58 yards. And the Ravens add on.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
So once more, the Ravens will come to the line here and go for the two-point try. This will be caught at about the 6.
The two-point conversion.
And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the two-point conversion for good measure.
To kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Smith to return it. Now a hit and a loose football.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the receiving team.
So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
And 1 yard to go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Lamar Jackson sacked.
Second time in this game. Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on her.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. And even with that broken tackle, can't get very far. Stops short of the 30.
Brought down at the 28-yard line.
On to stop there defensively, Tyler Davison. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Richard breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Touchdown. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Marshall now, the return. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Lamar Jackson sacked.
Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Banker's pass.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. picked off by Tavon Young. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
Take over first and 10.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And they'll keep it on the ground. Richard. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
4th down.
Flush to his right. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And and now they're going to fake it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
And this is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Yards to go.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Jackson now. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves. Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other side.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what